Hi, it's me, Hayla, and I wanted to make a video about something I haven't really talked about that much. Um, I've talked about like my depression and my self harm and all that, but I also suffer from another disorder, and that's social anxiety. Um, and I don't think people like really know when they hear social anxiety, they get this kind of idea of what it's like, and they don't really know. Um, people think that people with social anxiety, they just are people who are always alone, who have no friends and don't communicate with anyone ever, and they're just locked up in their room all day and just don't talk to anyone or whatever. And it's not like that at all. Um, Many people living with social anxiety still manage to communicate with others and function, like a normal human being in society, like being able to go to work or go to school and communicating with people and stuff like that. And just simple things like going out to the store or whatever, and they can still do that. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of inner strength to be able to overcome the fear um, of doing that. And I mean, it's different for everyone. I mean, like like for me, I don't know, like, okay, I mean, it's everyone experiences things differently. Um, so like, so I'm like gonna talk about a bit about my experience with social anxiety, and you may be able to relate to some of it, and other things you won't. But that doesn't mean that you don't have social anxiety. We experience things in a different way, and everyone just yeah. So I'm just gonna start by reading out because I found this webpage where like it's like just so people who just don't know anything about social anxiety, and they just um don't really know what it's about. So like here it says basically that social anxiety disorder, also known as social phobia, involves intense fear of certain social situations, especially situations that are unfamiliar or in which you feel you'll be watched or evaluated by others. Those social situations may be so frightening that you get anxious just thinking about them or go to great lengths to avoid them. Underlying social anxiety disorder or social phobia is the fear of being scrutinized, judged, or embarrassed in public. Um, and so, anyway, and like here's a list of things like triggers for social anxiety disorder, social phobia. Um, there are things like meeting new people, and I'm just gonna talk from my own experience. Like, I get really, really anxious and nervous and afraid when I meet new people. Um, when I'm around strangers, even if I'm not like talking to them, just and every time I have to interact with strangers or I meet new people, like the other day, last Tuesday, I went to this program or this thing um, that I'm starting. It's called Idiotholven in Icelandic. It's basically just there are just people like me who have suffered from depression and anxiety and all kinds of things, and that are just trying to get back on track, and especially just to get in some kind of routine and stuff, and just being able to open up and be able to interact and communicate with others and stuff. And I mean, and there were like six of us, including me, that showed up, and it was like the first time we all met. So it was like, we said our names and blah blah blah, and then I didn't really talk to anyone. We were like doing things with clay and stuff, and and they were just telling us how it would the whole thing would be, and stuff. So I didn't really, yeah, talk to anyone or get to know anyone, since it was just the first time. But like I was like really anxious and really nervous, because I knew that I was going there meeting people, even though it's people that are struggling just like me, that have gone through things that I have gone through. And so we have that common ground, and I'm sure that the more time you know I go there, and I get to know them, it could be great, because it's people that can understand what you're going through, because they're going through the same thing, and or similar things. And so, but it was really hard for me, and just meeting new people, just being around strangers, and it's just I have feelings of anxiety and just fear and all sorts of that. And then there's being the center of attention, and that's being watched while doing something, making small talk. It's all something I can relate to. I hate being the center of attention, and I like I hate being watched while doing something, like even just eating, like going out to a restaurant or just something where I have to do something in public, where I'm like doing something, and maybe I'm sitting at a table, and I'm just reading like a magazine or something, and I feel like people are watching me, and people are like watching everything I do, and they're like noticing all these like little details, like what I'm wearing, and what kind of facial expressions I'm making, and just all kinds of things, that runs through my mind. And that's like, then those thoughts come, like people are judging me, there must be something wrong with me, like I'm doing something wrong, and nothing I do is ever good enough. And then I just start thinking like that, and it's just crazy, the way that I think. And I think that people are always like watching me and judging me, and then there's public speaking, performing on stage. Um, well, I haven't sung in front of people, but like public speaking, where I have to, like in school, where I have to do a presentation, and I have to speak in front of everyone in class. That is like one of the worst things that I can imagine, because I just, and like, especially right before I go and give my presentation, I, get really nervous and anxious, and sometimes I even feel a little nauseous, because I'm so afraid, and just of messing up, or maybe it won't be good enough, and everyone is watching me, and everything, they're gonna notice everything I say and do. And maybe if I forget something, or if I say something stupid, or I just whatever. And it's just like, talking in front of people is not my thing at all. Like, being teased or criticized, that's exactly the thoughts that come to my mind. Talking with important people or authority figures. I can relate to that. Like, I mean, it doesn't happen a lot, where I have to like do that, but when I have to like call, I know, like a doctor or something, it's really like, I'm always just afraid of saying something stupid or just not knowing what to say or whatever. And anyway, being called on in class. Yeah, I kind of just talked about that. Going on a date. I actually, yeah, fun fact about me, I've never been on a date. Um, yeah. Making phone calls. Yeah, using public bathrooms. I hate using public bathrooms. I I don't do it unless I really have to. And I don't this is a little personal, but I never do number 2 in public bathrooms unless I just really really have to. And taking exams, uh yeah, I can relate to that too. It's really hard. Um not just studying wise, like, but like when I'm taking exams, I always start thinking like, because I always try to sit in the back, like as far in the back as I can, so that otherwise, if I'm sitting like at the front or something, then I feel like everyone is watching me, everyone behind me. I feel like everyone's watching me, and I know it's crazy, it's insane, it's ridiculous, because I mean, we're taking a freaking test. Like, no one is watching me. They're too busy taking their own test, and I know that in my head. But something like happens. I don't know what it is. Just these crazy thoughts come into my mind, and I know they're not true, and I know it's just bullcrap, but they still come to my mind and they don't go away, and I don't know why. And I feel like everyone is watching me and like wondering, oh, what is she doing now? Like, and just judging me and all these kind of things. And I don't know, it's so weird. Um, and eating or drinking in public, yeah, I talked about that too. Speaking up in a meeting. I've never been in a meeting. I mean, I talked about the school thing. Attending parties or other social gatherings, and is um, very big. Like, for me, I think, and it's even more if it's just a bunch of strangers. Like, I went to some, like when I was in school, because I haven't been in school for a while, and there was like these dances, or well, like school dances or stuff. I don't know. We don't have like a prom here. We just have like some school dances and stuff that we have. And I don't know. And when I just I think that's easier though, because it's when it's strangers or just someone that people that I don't really know. But when it's like family or relatives, like if it's like a family gathering, whether it's, a birthday, a wedding, a confirmation, or even a funeral, um I feel very uncomfortable, especially like in family gatherings. And it's even if it's like a bunch of people, um um that's okay. But if it's like a smaller, like the other day, I just went to dinner at my uncle's, and because my niece had a birthday, and it was kind of a birthday party for her, and there was dinner, and there were just, um, not that many people. I mean, it was just, my uncle, his wife, and their daughter, of course, and then there was me, my sister, mom, and dad, and then there was my dad's sister and her husband, and their son and his wife and their little son. And so yeah, I don't I don't don't remember. I mean, yeah, so that's not like many people. And I and there was a point, like, I mean, it was okay once it got, after a while, like, but at first I felt really uncomfortable. I was like, I was lucky that I had, like, I was so lucky that I had my phone with me, because I was just on my phone, like, on Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and like, while all the old people were talking about like politics and stuff and whatever, and I was just on my phone, and it was like, it's a good escape when when you have your phone with you or something. And and my sister was studying, and so I was just alone there on my phone for like, and it was good. And um and yeah, and that was like kind of hard for a while. And just like all if family gatherings, especially if it's like a smaller group, I just feel really uncomfortable. And there are times when I just mostly want to go to the bathroom and cry because I can't handle it. And just things like that. And just having to interact or communicate with people, especially people that I'm not really close to, that's really hard for me. Um, and it's just so, these are like some of my personal experiences with social anxiety. And it's basically just, but I don't like, I'm not, I mean, there was a time when I did spend most of my time in my room just in the computer, and communicating with people online. But you know I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's okay communicating with people online. Like, I really love, like, there are a lot of things about the internet that are negative, but a lot of positive things too. Like, I love meeting new people from all over the world, and I've gained some really good friends. Like, two of my best friends are people that I met on MySpace. Yeah, when MySpace was like cool. And what two of my best friends I met there. One is from Belgium and the other one is from Spain. And I've met people all over the world, from the US, from Australia, New Zealand, from Africa, like South America, just pretty much every continent. And I really love it. Like, it's really fun meeting new people, and especially like, and I've on Facebook, like, I'm a part of all like groups, like relating to depression and self-harm and social anxiety and stuff. And I've met and talked to people that are going through the same things I'm going through. And it's really good to talk to someone who understands what you're going through, because they have experienced it themselves. And and it's really good. Like, I mean, I love it. But of course, you have to communicate with people other than just online. You have to actually go out and talk to people and stuff. And I do that. Like, I'm not I mean, at least not right now, because I've gotten the help that I need. I mean, it's still a struggle every day. I struggle. I still, like I said, I still feel comfortable, like, at meeting strangers, or at family gatherings, or just when I have to, like, do something in public, or especially if it involves someone I don't really know that much. Like, I get really anxious and I feel really uncomfortable. But um just with time and practice, and just more self-respect, I guess. And I mean, it's gonna get better. And I'm gonna go back to school, and eventually I'm gonna get a job. And it's I'm gonna be fine. So I'm not like, I do communicate with people, and I do, like, go out and do stuff that I need to do. And I mean, it's not easy. It's not always easy, but I do it, and I'm getting there. And just so yeah. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I know this video is probably really long, as it usually is with me. But please, I want to know, like, what you guys think. Like, if you are dealing with social anxiety yourself, or if you know someone who is, I mean, please, like, comment, like, below, and tell me your story, or if you can if you can relate to some of the things that I just said, that I have experienced with, or if you don't, like, then just ask anything, and just whatever. And if you've like if you actually take the time to watch my videos and stuff, and if you are actually interested in, then if you have any suggestions or want me to talk about something specific, like, please comment, because I'm always open for suggestions and always looking for new things to talk about. So please do that. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. But thank you very much, and I hope to see a lot of comments. So yeah, thank you. Stay strong. Bye.